Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 11th of March 2022. Got three bits of news I want to reflect on right now. First of all, I see that Facebook are saying they're going to temporarily suspend their rules on hate speech when it kind of applies to Putin and Russia. They are actually going to allow people to do hate speech. Unbelievable, isn't it? We've gone many years saying, oh, you mustn't do hate speech. It's terrible. It's the most wicked thing you can do. But then it transpires, well, not when the narrative calls for it. Because if that's the case, do as much hate speech as you could possibly want. Absolutely ridiculous and pretty disgusting, really. Anyway, moving on to another bit of news. This one might be a bit more practical for you. We all know that using Google as a search engine is pretty much a non-starter these days, because they just won't be revealing stuff that you might want to go and see. They'll just be kind of throwing up stuff that they think you should be looking at. And, you know, that's not really sort of what's required when you want to be looking into things impartially and wanting to get the whole picture. Plus, then you've got the issue that they track you as well. Which is, for reasons of privacy, isn't great. So we've been using, lots of us truthers have been using DuckDuckGo for the last year or so, 18 months. And it now transpires, apparently, they've gone down the same road as Google. They're going to be limiting what you can see, engaging in censorship, etc. So it looks like they've gone a little bit too mainstream. And of course, when these things go mainstream, they then have to toe the party line and not allow the likes of us to do what we need to do. So it looks like DuckDuckGo is going to go the way of Google. And apparently, I'll probably fill you in a little bit more as I find out more. But apparently, a new search engine called Brave, as in Braveheart, is the way to go. I haven't even downloaded it myself, so I've got no idea what it's like. Maybe you've got other sort of ideas for decent search engines. If so, please leave a comment in the comment section below. And item number 3, as far as news is concerned, and this is totally unconfirmed. I've just seen this from a couple of sources. I've got no idea how true it is, but I've seen news this week that apparently a certain company that produces treatments that starts with PF are looking to delist themselves from the stock market. Now, as I say, totally unconfirmed, but if it is true, you've got to ask yourself the question, why? Because it's obviously not something a big company would do lightly. And the only reason I can think of why they would want to do that, certainly at kind of short notice, without much warning at least, is because they're expecting their share prices to drop through the floor, or think there's a very major possibility of that anyway. And what better to a way of preventing that than just delisting yourself off of the stock market, so that kind of gets hidden. So that apparently is what's happening, and I'll leave you to conjecture why the share prices for that company might be going down sharply in very short order. But I think we can all guess why that is, and it might have something to do with these documents that people have been talking about this week, and that I talked about myself a couple of videos ago, or last video actually, I think it was. And that kind of goes hand in hand with another company that produces similar products that starts with M, and apparently they've been doing similar things. I think the CEO of that company has ditched a load of shares that he had in his own company, and I think their biggest shareholder has also done the same. The biggest shareholder wasn't the CEO, it was someone else, and apparently they've done the same. They've ditched a load of shares as well. So it's very, very interesting. You know, why are these people sort of wanting to sort of either ditch a load of shares or delist themselves off the stock market altogether? Could it be that you know, they are finished pretty much? Because just as a very interesting little aside, we all know that these companies have got are immune from liability for any damage that their products might cause. This has been a major bone of contention and a major reason why the likes of me, and probably you as well, are so suspicious. Yeah, why would they want to have immunity from liability if they're confident in their products? You know, but apparently, if it's found that they were out to cause sort of harm deliberately, which you can argue they were, because they knew that these things were going to cause huge problems. Well, if that could be proven, that they set out to cause harm, well, the immunity is null and void, and they then sort of are fully liable, and everybody can basically sue them for a heck of a lot of money. And well, you know, perhaps that is why all of this sort of delisting, etc., is going on. Anyway, that's just a little bit of conjecture in there on my part. Got no idea what's going on, but I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, there is some big news that will be coming out on this sort of regard in you know, the next sort of few days and next few weeks. And actually I'll give you 4 for the price of 3. Another bit of news. It's quite earth-shattering, isn't it, that the American Secretary for State, don't know what the lady's name is, can't remember, but she was basically admitting that the US have got kind of certain laboratories close to the Russian border in the Ukraine. And it's quite funny. I saw a meme just, I think it's either today or yesterday, but it's basically saying, literally only a few days ago, you would have been called a conspiracy theorist, sort of nutcase, if you sort of said that there's sort of Nazis operating in a certain country that starts with U, and also for suggesting that in that same country there are these certain types of facilities that I've just alluded to. And now, just a few days later, it transpires that both of those things are absolutely true. So yeah, quite earth-shattering, isn't it? And I wouldn't be surprised if there's more earth-shattering news to be forthcoming in, you know, as we go forward over the next few days and few weeks. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll be back over the weekend, no doubt, and enjoy your Friday night. I know I will. Got a sort of couple of cans of Kronenberg there in the fridge, so I'm going to go and crack one open right now, if you sort of don't mind. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.